Foursquare, The Search for Laura in the Night of the Living Dead 3D. After Mitchell and Alice got married, on the second day of their honeymoon, they looked at each other. Alice said to Mitchell, "So, shall we get started with our day?" And she blinked. "Yes, let's get started," said Mitchell as he tried to go back to sleep. "Come on, Mitchell, get up," said Alice as she pushed him off the bed. As the week went by, it was their last day on their honeymoon. They were leaving tomorrow. But in the afternoon, someone was knocking at their door. Alice opened it, and a whole bunch of zombies were surrounding their house. Mitchell and Alice ran, but the zombies followed, so they ripped all their heads off. Alice got blood all over her wedding dress. She and Mitchell got back to the house. Alice said, "That's it, we're leaving," as she flung the door open. "Calm down, Alice," said Mitchell as he transformed back from crocodile to human. "Calm down? Who do you think you're kidding? This is outrageous having zombies on our honeymoon," said Alice, and she lay down on their bed. Mitchell said, "Don't worry, tomorrow morning we'll be back with Eleanor and Brittany." "Oh, you got me there," said Alice. "I miss them so much. When we get back, maybe it'll be us four with a new addition." Mitchell started laughing and fell off the bed. "Honey, let's try to be rational about this. Have you ever taken care of a baby before?" Alice never had. Mitchell said, "What if the baby pulls your hair, or Eleanor's hair? What if he or she breaks stuff in the house and makes a mess?" "Mitchell," said Alice, "don't you ever think about having a family?" And she blinked again. "Right now, you are my family," said Mitchell, and he kissed her. When the couple returned from their honeymoon, they heard screaming coming from down the hall. The B-team followed down the hall until they met Isabel, who said, "Now Laura is gone to Night of the Living Dead 3D, see?" Eleanor said, "We've been through this before with Ronald McDonald. I thought we were done with this." Alice said, "We have been through this before in McDonald's Playland and Burial Ground. We can do it again." And everyone agreed. So they were on their way. As they were walking down the street, zombies were all over the cemetery. Alice was shocked, but the B-team managed to go unnoticed. When they reached the house, lots of people were going inside, so they followed them. In the house, survivors were gathered, and one of them asked, "Are you survivors or infected?" The B-team told them that they were survivors. "We're looking for Isabel's friend Laura," Alice told them. "She's lost." The survivors looked at each other and said, "We will help you find your friend tomorrow morning. Do you B-team have rules?" "Yes," said Alice, "I've got rules right here. Number 1, always listen to me. Rule number 2, stay in the middle of the trail. Number 3, all must have their heads examined. Rule number 4, you can ignore number 2 if there's a female involved or possibly a cute puppy." And she started to laugh. "Now, let's barricade everything and head upstairs to bed," Alice told the B-team. The next morning, the survivors and the B-team were ready to go find Laura, but Alice had something to say to Mitchell. "Mitchell," she said, "there's something I have to tell you." "What is it?" asked Mitchell. Alice began to explain. "I'm pregnant with your baby, and you are going to be a father," she said. "That's great," said Mitchell as they got into the car. "Really?" asked Alice. "I'm glad you think so." Junior got in the car and drove the B-team somewhere else. When they got there, Eleanor and Alice jumped out of the car and ran away because they realized that he betrayed them. Mitchell and Brittany were locked inside. Junior jumped out of the car and ran toward the building. Brittany screamed for help. Alice and Eleanor realized they might be in trouble, so they ran back to the car and they unlocked all the doors since Junior was gone. The doors were unlocked, but Alice still couldn't open them. They were stuck. Eventually, Alice decided to break through the glass with a rock, and the B-team escaped through the windows without being noticed. As they ran away from the building and all the zombies, they heard footsteps coming toward them. It was Laura! Laura said, "Where have you guys been?" Brittany explained, "We had to save you from Night of the Living Dead. The zombies were going to eat you." "Zombies? No, I was at school," said Laura. "School?" asked Brittany. "Oh." And Alice told Laura that she was pregnant. Mitchell said, "You know what? I think those other survivors are going to be okay." Alice turned to Mitchell and said, "Well, for what it's worth, we'll be okay too." Mitchell smiled and said, "You're right. I realized that having a family is a great idea." He reached out and touched her stomach, and they all went home, safe and sound. The end.